Turns out this is still recording. I haven't actually checked where everything is for this test. So we're gonna hope that this pans out well enough. Move the mic over a little bit. Hopefully that's good. So you'll likely hear background sound. That's right now it's the air fryer, but after that point we're co-occurring. You may hear the freezer going, which I'm going to start off this reading with a story time, and I'm kind of curious to see if that ends up being a theme carrying forward. And I just feel called to share it. And I'm really hoping that my voice carries over from proximity over the sounds of the background. The thing is, I of course wanted this to be without distraction, without with a nice meal in my belly first, but I'm just feeling this sense of urgency to really dive into this, to just show up right now. So my story time pertains to the thing that I ended up warning about with background noise potential, relevant to the freezer. So a very large theme in life, a recurring theme, is the importance of being open to not knowing, particularly not knowing the results, or in the moment understanding the purpose of something happening, particularly perceived inconveniences. And so a few days ago in the apartment I'm in, started settling into a grand sense of stability and starting to feel uplifted. I have a lot to be grateful for and a lot to look forward to. And then the freezer in my apartment, the gasket, the part that seals the door, started just rapidly cracking. So the magnet that seals the door was just like breaking off, and so the freezer couldn't seal properly. And so I ended up reaching out to maintenance. They come by. They had what they thought was the replacement gasket part, and then it turns out that the person who last did anything with that fridge or freezer, they replaced it with the wrong door, and so the gasket didn't fit because it was the wrong door. Basically, it just turned into a whole bunch of, mostly on their end, inconveniences. But on my end, the only thing that really came up as an inconvenience to me was I just really, my space here is sacred, right? And so if I'm able to have scheduled appointments in home, then that's fine, because I can at least, predict and work around. But in relevancy to maintenance work, they just kind of show up is the nature of that. And so it's been disruptive to my schedule, my layout. So that's the only perceived inconvenience, or actual inconvenience. But that said, it just became a thing of one thing after the other. Not necessarily anyone in the present, not anyone's in the present's fault. Just the maintenance guy ended up eventually just replacing the fridge with a different one. But then now this fridge, the freezer on this is too efficient for its own good and is incredibly disruptively loud. And to the point where even with earplugs in, I can't sleep. And so, as on the surface in the 3D realm, maddening as that has felt, this all has served a purpose that, from me making that first email to maintenance, I couldn't have possibly predicted. It served such a larger purpose than I could have imagined. With all of these perceived inconveniences, during one of those visits from the maintenance guy, he noticed that I struggled washing dishes in the sink. I'm a wheelchair user. I have physical disabilities, multiple physical disabilities. And he ended up, in a very polite and respectful way, approaching me about that, just being like, are you doing it this way just because you prefer, or is it just more difficult for you? Like, you just really basically really respectfully asked, like, is there something we should be addressing relative to your disabilities? And the thing is, I've established great assertiveness skills in almost all realms of my life, and when it comes to advocating for other people's needs, particularly surrounding disabilities, I have no problem. But that's been one of the lingering areas of my skills that I have been putting off. Me asking for my ADA supported disability needs has been something that I've admittedly felt too scared to initiate with this management property. And with that maintenance person bringing that up, he ended up opening up a conversation of, like, if you want, I can reach out to the office for you and bring it up with them just to, like, get that conversation going. And I was and am so grateful, and I was just like, I would really appreciate that, because I would keep putting it off, as unsafe as it is for me to navigate the unit as it is right now. And so basically, had there not been that seemingly irritating technological inconvenience with the freezer, the seemingly unserving, not meaningful irritation that was/is, I would not have connected in that moment to have that conversation and initiate a long overdue process, and a process that I would have kept putting off. And it's not just a process, it's also a healing opportunity for me, because I didn't start acknowledging my lifelong disabilities until just 2 years ago. And so this is a grand opportunity for me to close off the healing I need to do surrounding ableism and narcissistic parental neglect and abuse. And so it's a lot quieter now with the air fryer off. Basically, what seemed to be pointless served a much higher and grander purpose, because now, with that maintenance person reaching out initially, he ended up just right away coming back and was like, yep, just let the office know everything you need and we'll go from there. And the next morning I had an email written out with everything I needed, and they had gone back to me, said that sometime next week that they would get back to me about what the outcome is, whatever that looks like or means. And so it's the ending of that chapter of neglecting my own needs as a projection of others neglecting my needs. And it's the beginning of the new chapter of accessibility and just completely, officially, just entirely no longer neglecting my own needs and speaking up for what I need. And so blessings come in grand, irritating disguises. And that feels relevant to the reading today. I have no idea why, and we'll get to it, because as fellow readers know, you just show up and synchronicities happen. That said, I am going to eat first, and then I will come back and go from there. See you in a moment. Hello, lovies. I'm back. So, let us get into your collective moon reading, full moon reading. I'm just gonna ground myself into the moment. Called to tarot. I do feel called to Wild Whiskers, and tarot being Wild Unknown Tarot. My own little custom deck of Oracle. Halloween Oracle. See from there. Hopefully the mic volume is up enough. I'll edit it if I need to. Okay. With Wild Whisker Oracle first. I'm getting Hedgehog. Core card here of traits to embody. Secondary to that is the deer. More feminine, so doe. Also with strawberries. So usually, or we don't go by usual here. Message of pleasure in life, fruitfulness, enjoyment, energy I'm getting from the hedgehog card is playfulness. And a bit of the skunk energy as well, which for me reads as a passiveness or a trusting that one is protected naturally just by being as is without any active effort. That skunk energy coming forth in the hedgehog card here because they have little spikies on their backs, but they're so fun and playful. You see all those videos of them and how cute they are. And so the reason the skunk gives passive energy and that coming forth is, they're known for their scent that they give off and their little defensive stance. They'll put their tail up, and also their colorations having the white and black stripes, so that they're very recognizable, and usually without having to do anything, other animals know to steer clear of them. And even when, say, a curious dog or a curious child or your curious inner child calls you to go towards them, they'll take up that stance. And even then, that's more of a warning than an actual intent to do anything to defend themselves, right? That's just kind of like a, hey, come on now. Like, just respect me, please. Their own effective communication through body language, right? And very rarely, I forget the exact number for the statistic, but it's very rare that they actually resort to spraying. It's truly as a last resort. If the stance has not been enough for a potential predator or perceived predator to, respect their space or their home, or like if they're a mother skunk with their children, right? And so with the hedgehog and the doe here and the strawberry, there's very much an energy of just trust that you are protected without actively having to do anything. To take a very light energy, let go of defensiveness, let go of the defenses, the active defenses. Trust you're okay. That way you can actually connect with the pleasures of life. Take that light, feminine, receptive energy as opposed to the active Mars masculine energy of I must take what I need. It's just trust the process, really, is where we're starting here. All right, so let me get the tarot out. There's also energy there's also Fae energy here too, between these cards. Devil in reverse. Some, most, all, if it resonates. You've conquered illusion. You saw right through that shit. Illusion and or addiction struggles. Something in perception has been seen right through and conquered. You've overcome that. Or passed a major milestone in one area of that, one or more areas of that. I'm getting one or two. So that's great work with that. Tower in reverse. Tying into my little story time thing here of what was perceived to be something terrible is actually to make room for better. And with this, I get the energy of that tower moment, that tower situation, event, chapter is over. There's a completion energy here. Okay. Call to shuffle these one more time. No longer do reversals. I usually don't do reversals, but there was a strong message to those first two, the devil and the tower in reverse. All right, what do we have here? So, Page of Cups. Again, and it's on the same side as the hedgehog and the deer, the doe. Daughter of Cups, Page of Cups, there's this very soft, colorful, playful energy, feminine, receptive energy. Just a continuation of that theme. Really, we're going into, when I say we, for you, we're going into a lighter time. This is the storm has passed. The clouds are moving on. We have the sunlight and the rainbow, the rainbow coming through. And the water here, the water energy, the intuitive, creative, flowing energy, flowing is a theme here. And also with this being I would say like a baby going into teenage swan here. I'm being drawn to the image of the ugly duckling and that story, that concept, where we're growing out of the illusion of where we thought we were supposed to go, the societal outer influences, and trusting our own internal compass, our own colorful true colors reflecting our truth in the water by going with the flow. Connecting with our inner child, not even just inner child, our inner, most authentic, fulfilled selves. A few cards together here. Actually being called to do these in reverse still. Okay. Interesting. So we have Two of Pentacles, Mother of Swords, and Four of Swords in reverse. Let me just check on that Four of Swords. Okay, so there was a need here. Again, there was a need for active effort and consideration to get through a situation, to cope with a situation. because with the Two of Pentacles, that gives me energy of needing to actively balance multiple things at once, and that's no longer required. The Mother of Swords, so the Queen of Swords, she's someone who sees right through to the truth, is very to the point, can come off cold in doing so, but very much logical, honestly strategic, and practical. And she is also in the reverse here, and so again, we don't need to think everything through to ensure that everything's going to be safe, okay, all right, going forward. We can let that go. We can softening. And we just got the image of just a big ball of dough just softening and flattening a bit. Kind of like muscles that were just like, we need to make sure everything's on top. Like, I need to be on top of everything, ensure this and this in this place, just to ensure that I can get out of this and cope. And it's like, okay, now we can thrive. We can let the muscles ease, just ease and flow. And the Four of Swords here, I get the energy of, it was a situation where it was upright, where we needed to retreat. Maybe some of you needed to take a vacation, which was really just a mental health break. Some of you may have even been involved in inpatient or outpatient treatment to cope with a very heavy, difficult situation, something that threw off our stability for a while. But this is now in reverse, and this is telling me that we don't need to make our own safety box anymore, our own safe box. The box is what keeps coming to mind. Our own enclosure. We can just be, and it's okay now. So this is wonderful. All right. The Sun card. Yes. I love this. I look forward to evolving my setup to where you guys will have an overhead look at this, because the way this is laid out is beautiful. Because the Sun card, it's coming after all of these reversals and in alignment with the upright Page of Cups here. So just these bright, beautiful rainbow and sun energies. This is very much like, I know you've been through a lot, and please, even though you haven't had much of the tangible evidence, if any at all, this is very much sunshine and rainbows, literally. We are on the path of enlightened, free, just flowing being now. We don't have to constantly, we're free now, is what this is. We can enjoy things. We can tap into pleasure instead of practicalities and coping. I love this energy. I'm being drawn to, on my little tapestry here, the flowers. The flowers are blooming. There's an emphasis of that. We had seeds that were under the surface. This is a big theme of winter, and just was a big theme going through the 888 portal. Of just the seeds being underground, seemingly frozen, seemingly stagnant, when really we were just nurturing ourselves over the winter. And now that spring has come, we're starting to see our work in tangible ways, or will start to see that, or at least more importantly, we'll start to feel that loosening, that softening of the soil, no longer frozen. We have Four of Wands. Let me see here. Yeah. Four of Wands and Six of Wands. Okay, good. That confirms it. So, stability is the name of the game here, and the fact that it's showing up in 2 consecutive cards we have the sun is even coming through this card here, the 4 of Wands, and okay, look at this. This is just too synchronistic. So put it in order so you can see it. So the sun card was first, 4 of Wands, 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands being a sense of harmony and balance. And notice how we have like the sun rays are coming through that card. I'm hoping this is showing up here. And then we also have the synchronicity of the butterfly, the freedom, the just freedom, flowing, flying, like that blue expression, so bright, like coming through the rays of the sun. So there's a lot of illumination, and there's going to be a lot of expressive energy coming through now because we have the blockages moved out of the way. We've cleared that. This is a wonderful reading. I love this for us. Because this collective, myself being part of the collective, I felt this energy pulling through, and to know that this is on a larger scale is a beautiful thing, and I love this for us. It's literally just sunshine and rainbows going forward. We've learned our foundational lessons, it seems, as a collective in this soul tribe, the star family we have. This is beautiful. This is basically a welcome spring reading is what this came out to be. I feel like this is all there, like anything I pull through from this point is just going to be repetitive on this, I feel like. So I'm actually just going to close this out. I had other decks over here expecting clarification, but if I pull any of those, it's just going to bring up details of like what this event was, but where we don't need to look back at that. I'm not being pulled to that. So it's really just, I'll pull out a card for a closing thing, an oracle card, and we'll let that be. So go with Saints and Angels and close out. Thank you for joining me in this. Steady progress, being card on the bottom. Lovely. All right, Universe, let's card to close out this reading. Getting lots of like side messages. So peeking through, we have higher education. Called to say here that if there's any sort of programs you've been considering, like certifications, or even just like YouTube videos, internet resources to get more informed on something, it doesn't have to be something directly spiritual, because anything can be tied into that because it's all encompassing, right? But if you've been called towards something of that nature, like, get on that. Take this time, and it's in with conjunction with retreat. So I would say, take this time, this softening time. There's an opening of schedule is what came through. With this open schedule, tap into, get connected with the things that you're being called to do, whether they seem practical, logical, or not. It's going to serve you, is what I'm getting here. All right, okay, one card to close this out, please. This is a lot of energy coming from this deck right now. Okay. Just one card, please. Let's do this. Move and help healthful eating coming through. Move. I'm being really called towards this card. Mostly for the rainbow. The rainbow and the pose she's in. Or they're in, rather. There's just like arms out, don't be so tense. The energy through this card I'm getting, I mean, there's an emphasis on the pink in it too, so our heart opening of the heart, not caging ourselves, just moving out, like just body being, you don't have to exactly have like active movement, it's more of just paying attention to our body language and just being open and keeping that channel open. I will read for this card. No? The thing is, I keep just getting random messages. Okay, retreat. Retreat's the card we're going to read. Fair enough. Got it. Thank you. Retreat. There's so much excited energy, and it feels scattered. For some of you, this feels important to pull through, is the message of, you may feel like it's instability, but it's really just excitement. This is good energy shaking things up. So if you feel a bit more distracted or all over the place, like, it's okay to feel that way. This is good, excited energy. And something, side note, like human note, of in therapeutic practices, a grand thing that was helpful to realize was that nervousness / anxiety, fear, I don't know why I did that. Nervousness / anxiety, which is fear, there we go, can feel in the body very similar to excitement. And so it helps to ask myself, am I feeling scared right now or excited? And sometimes it can be both. But oftentimes when I reflect upon that, I'm like, I'm actually just excited. It just feels overwhelming my body, and that's okay, and that's good. So just something that may resonate. Okay, so retreat. This is a strong and clear message for you to go on a retreat as soon as possible. Your guardian angels want you to have some peace and quiet time because you need to rest, rejuvenate, and regroup. Your time apart will refresh you and recharge your batteries. You'll gain new insights and the answers you seek, as well as develop a better understanding of the direction you need to go in, which step to take next. Give this need for a retreat to your angels, and they'll orchestrate all the details. They'll ensure that you have the time, money, and other support you need for a wonderful experience. Trust that the location they send you is ideal for you. This is a blessing for both you and your loved ones, as it will help you be happier and healthier. It's not selfish to take care of yourself in this way. It's an investment in your well-being and a gift to your family. And go on a retreat without delay. And there's a strong difference in energies between this Four of Swords retreat and this retreat. This was what needed to be done before to cope, was a shutting out the rest of the world to reserve what resources you had. This is very much a enjoy yourself, you deserve it, rejuvenating, fun retreat. This is a vacation, not a treatment center retreat, so, and I mean, you have a deer in there as well. Very interesting. So soft, receptive energy, and like in that description it said, where your angels, your guides, ancestors, however you want to label it, or all of the above, multiple, there doesn't need to be an active or much of an active effort here. This is very much something that's naturally going to come your way. You deserve it. It's a reward. You don't need to work for it anymore. You're okay. So just be open to receiving. Let the light in. And, I mean, let your colors show and express yourself is what this is really all about here. I love that for us. And again, the healthful eating is coming up, but it's also, there's a lot of purple here showing up grapes. I would say whatever you're feeling called to eat, let yourself eat that. Balance and moderation is good, but I get the sense that you already have the foundation of that, so you don't need to think about that too much. Follow the calls for what your body needs, particularly with eating, is coming through. And also enjoy yourself too, in balance. All right. That is the collective reading for the full moon of February 2024, though this is a timeless reading, so if you come across this at a later point, take what resonates at the time it applies to you. Time is not linear. And that's what I've got for you today, or what the universe has for you today. I am simply a channel. All right, so shine on, lovies, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next